they've been waiting out in the freezing cold all day here at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. And now they're warm inside. It's a huge matchup awaits. In the first matchup between these teams, Trey Burke, the Michigan star, 4 of 13 from the field. The great on-ball defense of Aaron Kraft did the trick. That plus Deshaun Thomas could give the Buckeyes a sweep of the Wolverines. Tuesday continues. We start the Big Ten week and continue our journey to the tourney. Some of the big games along the path to the brackets in March. And a top 10 matchup. Two of the best rivals in all sports. Ohio State and Michigan. They've been waiting all day to come on inside and see Michigan trying to bounce back from the loss in Indiana. And the Buckeyes, along with the Spartans and Wolverines, tied a game back halfway through the Big Ten season. Hi, everybody. Mike Tirico along with Dick Vitale. Good to have you back in the Big Ten, pal.
Well, thanks a lot, Mike. Should be really interesting. When you look right here at Michigan, they have beaten the last 5 ranked teams that have come on this floor. They are tough here, 28-1 in the last 2 years. What a stretch they have. Indiana on the road, tonight Ohio State, at Wisconsin, at Michigan State. It won't get any tougher in the NCAA.
Now let's talk about one-on-one, the matchup you're looking at closely here tonight.
Well, Mike, you talk about the one-on-one. We start off with Michigan and their offensive efficiency. The best tandem in America on the perimeter, Burke and Hardaway, account for 43%. And then on the other side, the best defensive tandem in America. When you take a look at Mr. Kraft, they don't get any better defensively. There's a steal by Shannon Scott, throwing Lenzo Smith, and they got a dynamite perimeter defensive team.
Dick, here's the line for the Buckeyes. Kraft, Smith, you mentioned, Deshaun Thomas, Sam Thompson, and Amir Williams at the center. And for the Wolverines, 20-2 on the season, Trey Burke, Tim Hardaway, the good shooter, Nick Stauskas, along with Glenn Robinson III, and John Horford. Ready to roll with Pat Driscoll, Terry Weimer, and John Gaffney tossing it at center between Horford and Williams. First matchup between these teams, Ohio State jumped out to a 21-point lead. Michigan came back towards the end, ended up losing by 3.
You know, Mike, in both their losses, they started out slowly. Against Indiana, they were down 28-13.
Both teams, as is commonplace now for big games in both football and basketball, coming out with new, different-looking uniforms for this one. And nothing different or new about Deshaun Thomas breaking the scoring seal for the Buckeyes.
You know, big-time scorer, averaging 20 a game. But if they're to win, somebody else has got to step up offensively and help them.
Right away, Dick, you're seeing that great on-ball defense by Aaron Kraft, denying Trey Burke. So Robinson and Hardaway initiate the offense for the Wolverines. And Tim Hardaway Jr.'s foul.
Robinson's going to have to snap back. He did not have a good game against Indiana. He's been solid all year. He's been an outstanding freshman player, but he really struggled down at Bloomington.
Smith Jr. That's his first. Team first. Flying out to shoot 2 for your Wolverines.
Second leading scorer on this team, Hardaway, 15.5 a game for John Beilein. As he missed the first, John Beilein turned 60 today.
Wow, there's nothing he would like better as a birthday present than a W over the Buckeyes.
This conference so good through the first half of the season. You truly must protect home court. And that stretch that you talked about at the top of the broadcast, 3 of those 4 for Michigan on the road.
It's the toughest 4, so I don't think anybody in America's played a tougher 4 than that. And I agree with you, Mike. You better win at home. See, I think Kraft could score a little bit more. He's averaging 9 a game. Yep. I believe he's got to be a 12-point scorer.
Thomas didn't catch it clean on the turnover. Belongs to the Wolverines. Thad Matta has, of course, done a terrific job taking Ohio State to 2 Final Fours and has a 17-3 record against the rival from the border state.
Not really a rival when you dominate like that, man. That is domination.
Burke shot dances on the rim. Not chased down by Robinson. It belongs to Ohio State.
You know, talk about rivalries between the football and basketball programs. In the last 29 meetings between them, it's 25-4, all Buckeyes.
Brady Hoke did get one of the four. The Michigan football coach. Ohio State won it this year down in Columbus.
He's going to be smiling. Great recruiting class going to come in here next year. And Urban Meyer, they'll come in every year.
Both elite recruiting classes for football signing day. Sam Thompson goes to the basket, gets fouled by Hardaway. And Sam Thompson, when he takes off, usually sticks the landing.
Yeah, he really is unbelievable. What a high riser. Explosive dunker. They call him Slam Thompson. He's unbelievable with his jumping ability. Came out of Chicago, played at Eli Whitney High School, where they have a phenomenal big player there for the class of 2014. Okafor. Remember that name, my friend.
Thompson has struggled in his last 2 games. He's played 47 minutes. He scored 2 points. He and the others of the sophomore class have to give this Ohio State team more here in the month of February.
Right, Mark. There's no question. They can't just count on Thomas. And against all the elite teams, it's been basically Thomas carrying them offensively. So they got to step up in games, marquee games like this. What a beautiful facility. I'm awed by this place.
From the top, a 3 for Hardaway is long, and a rebound by Aaron Kraft.
Kraft does a great job keeping the ball away from Burke.
All-time leader in steals, 4th in assists in Ohio State history, as it comes into Amir Williams. The foul inside on Horford. As you point out, Michigan's big man, Jordan Morgan, has been playing through injury, missed 5 games with a right knee injury, and then an ankle problem has slowed him down. But Dick, the guy checking in, Mitch McGarry for Michigan, gives them the most energy among their centers.
He really played well against Indiana, came on the floor and gave him 10 points, 7 rebounds, gave him some physicality. Very strong player physically.
Into the game now for your Wolverines, number 4, Mitch McGarry. Replacing John Horford.
Tell you the kid that's got to step up for Michigan. He got zippo in the first meeting against Ohio State. Staskis, who's a terrific 50% three-point shooter. They got to find a way to get him some looks, and he's very effective at home. You look at his three-point shooting at home, it's 58%.
He's hanging out in that corner top of your screen. Comes to get the Hardaway pass. They're keeping the ball out of the hands of Burke, and really Michigan able to go through their other guys to let Burke not have to handle against Kraft, but he does here on the wing.
Kraft does a great job staying in front of him.
McGarry, beautiful job, slipping to the basket.
But what about the pass? Great vision and a great look by Trey Burke. That's why he is terrific. He's not only a scorer, he can pass the rock as well. Good, tough man-to-man defense. Both clubs getting after it.
This is Thomas. Shot long, defended by Robinson. Last touch, Buckeyes. Wolverine ball.
As Robinson hooking up with Thomas. Thomas, one of the all-time leading scorers in the state of Indiana.
You see Deshaun, 20 points on the nose. He's the leading scorer in the Big Ten. Trey Burke is second in the conference. There's trapped Hardaway, but able to get it to Robinson, who attacks the basket. Blocked by Amir Williams. Kept alive by Stauskas.
Williams using that shot blocker inside.
Oh! Are you serious? Out of the corner for 3.
Are you serious, Mike? That was a big-time 3. That wasn't a wide-open one, and that is good news for the Wolverines. Tempo of the game so important.
Out of the corner was a big game last game for Lenzel Smith. He scored 21 at Nebraska on Saturday.
He didn't miss a shot. He was 6 for 6.
Burke on the pitch from the corner, Robinson. 8 straight for Michigan.
That's another bulletin coming out. Great news with him making the 3.
Glenn Robinson's dad, the former #1 overall pick out of Purdue. Williams has it knocked away by McGarry. Wolverines on the run. Hardaway.
Score the basket. Score the basket. score the basket. That's Michigan at their best in transition.
10-0 run Michigan. Early 7-point lead.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? Wendy's, now that's better. And the Lincoln Motor Company.
An entire upcoming issue of ESPN, the magazine, is devoted to the preparation behind the scenes, embedded, if you will, with both of these teams. We thank them for their support and participation. Look for that coming up in an upcoming issue of ESPN, the magazine, all about the build-up for this game. And you might even see a picture of Samantha Ponder, who's standing by with a report on the point guard matchup tonight. Hello, Sam.
Hey, Mike, how's it going? Everybody tonight watching this matchup between Aaron Craft and Trey Burke. But Aaron told me today that Trey is one of his favorite players in the country to match up against for one simple reason. He does not talk any trash. He said he just plays the game the way it was meant to be played. He actually calls him a silent killer. Now, he said he knows that Trey's going to get his points tonight, but his goal is to make him a volume shooter, much like Indiana did on Saturday. He also said, I don't care if he gets 50 tonight as long as we win the game. I paused and pressed back on him a little bit and said, really? He said, all right, it would bother me a little bit. A lot of respect between these two guys.
Tell you one thing, Sam, he's done a great job on Burke. In 4 games against Kraft, he's 16 for 49, 18 assists, 20 turnovers, and 5 for 19 shooting the three. So it's been consistent. Somebody's going to help Thomas out and getting shots. Ohio State, to win this game, has to keep it in the high 50s, early 60s.
Smith travel.
They're not going to beat Michigan if it gets in the 70s and 80s. Thad Matta, 12 years in a row, has won 20 or more, second among coaches, 12 years. Number 1, Mark Few down at Gonzaga. He's done an amazing job with the Buckeye program.
105 and 41, his Big Ten record. McGarry to the basket. Great block. Amir Williams. And on the push after the second block of the night for Williams. Deshaun Thomas almost got caught in between.
Yeah, he was caught in between. You're right. He hesitated. He didn't have a good rhythm on that shot.
Burke, a deep three. McGarry kept it alive over Williams.
Mike, he's a big-time guy inside. You were right. He's so physical. He gives them energy. He gives them toughness. He gives them physicality. And he gives them points.
It's always an over-under with McGarry. How long until he hits the floor? He always goes on the floor for a loose ball involved in contact. He gives this Michigan team energy.
Ohio State, to me, right now, looks too one-dimensional, looking constantly for Thomas.
Thompson with a nice drive, and it's soft touch for the hoop.
They need that out of him. They need him to score a little bit. You got to help him out. They lost so much from last year in Sullinger and Buford. 2 big-time players.
Ends a 12-0 run, 5.5 minutes without a field goal for Ohio State. McGarry on a little dump down from the lane. Knew it was off, couldn't chase it down. Hey, Dick, I want you to hear before the game, Michigan knew how important an early good start was.
We know what happened last time. They outworked us those first 4 minutes. All right, let's come out the gate. We on their ass. Let's go out the gate this time. We ain't playing around. Let's go. Eat on 3. 1, 2.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to always come back. You're down 29-8 down to Columbus. And came back with 16 seconds on the clock. Burke had a shot to give them the lead. It went in and it went out.
3 that was halfway down. Scott checked in the game for Ohio State, and that's a very important hoop for Shannon Scott, who has not scored much throughout the Big Ten season.
He's a guy who plays really well on the defensive end. Daddy Charlie was as special as it gets at North Carolina.
Clarence LeVert in the game for the Wolverines. The freshman, he missed it. Morgan has it taken away. Good job inside by Evan Ravenel, who just checked in for the Buckeyes. And Scott on the take comes all the way. Energy right off this Ohio State bench. Scott and Ravenel giving the Buckeyes a little juice. And on the arrow, it'll go to Michigan.
Well, good news for Michigan is the fact that Morgan can play. Only played 2 minutes against Indiana, and he could have been really a factor there defensively, especially against Zeller, who was unbelievable. Oladipo is off the charts now.
Was he tremendous in that game?
Oh, Oh, he's phenomenal.
So many of their big games, Victor Oladipo does stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and then does a ton that now shows up in the stat sheet.
You know, when you talk about improved players, I think he's probably the most improved player in the nation.
Cody Zeller and the rest of the Hoosiers now #1 in the country after beating Michigan. Stauskas from deep. Got him all!
He's feeling it. He's got a little swag to him, too. He's got that little confidence. Dan Schumann jumped out of his seat right now. He loves that Canadian.
See that maize and blue Canadian flag over there?
See that?
Dan probably likes that.
I think that's Dan Schumann. That's John Saunders. They're in the crowd. That's Saunders and Schumann.
Thomas from deep. Rebound Burke for Michigan.
Really limited offensively. They're going to beat you with defense and tempo.
Burke on a beautiful take.
Oh, man. Is that a big-time move? What a great drive to the goal. He made like a young version of a guy that played here years ago, Ricky Green. Remember Ricky Green exploded to the basket?
Thomas a three. Big hoop for Ohio State. And every time they need a big shot, they go to that smooth lefty, the junior out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
He's a big-time scorer. He's been out all his life. He's played a little better now on a defensive end. I mean, you talk about the Big Ten right now. I think the top 3 players have been Burke, Oladipo, and Thomas.
Not going to give Stauskas much room. Have to use a screen, try to slip it to Morgan, who wasn't looking. First Michigan turnover.
They don't turn it over much. 9.8 a game. Second in the nation. That's why they lead the nation in offensive efficiency.
Baseline take by Kraft coming inside. That's a great, smart play by Kraft, knowing the defense was a hair late after the attention to Thomas.
You know, Mike, I know a lot of people would agree with me, but I think that kid can make an NBA roster. There's no Aaron Kraft. He can defend special situations. Why wouldn't you want a kid like that on your roster? He's going to guard people. He can pass the ball. I mean, he made him kick that ball out.
Burke in the paint. Morgan on the follow. Burke wanted the foul. Scott with the speed the other way. Whoa, Sam Thompson flies in for the dunk.
There's the high riser. Scott misses the layup, but Thompson right there in transition. I think the Big Ten, Mike, is so special this year. I think it's the best it's ever been from top to bottom.
Scott's defense has been great. Here goes Thompson for another takeoff. If he can chase it down. Good job by Levert coming back. Knocked it out of bounds as the Buckeyes 7-0 run has tightened this game up. Two teams will see in March on this journey to the tournament. Ohio State to tighten this up to a 3-point game. Let's talk about Lowe's never stop improving, Dick, and the shooting of Nick Stauskas in this game already.
Well, there he is with that fadeaway jump shot. Defense right on him. And if he can square his body and get a look at the rim, you might as well count it. He's 4th in the nation by shooting threes. Number 1 is a kid at Belmont who's terrific by the name of Ian Clark, shooting 51%. But Stauskas at home shoots 58%. In the first matchup, he got 0, and they lose by 3. So that's good news for them. That is already knocked down 2.
Stauskas, one of the many young players in this Michigan team. At times left 4 freshmen and Burke, a sophomore, on the floor. A team that was #1 in the country, now sitting at number 3. They're there because Indiana beat them the game you and Dan had Saturday night. Hoosiers take #1 on the road to Champaign to take on Illinois, followed by Washington, UCLA. Our Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price.
You know, show you how tough the Big Ten is. You look at Illinois, they were 13-1, had a win over Ohio State, blew them out, beat Butler in the Maui Classic, beat Gonzaga at Gonzaga. They're 2-7 right now, fighting for their lives to try and get an NCAA berth. They better beat Indiana to help their resume, and that is a tough order.
Yeah, 2-7 in the league, and in most of the computer rankings you look at, they're top 50 in the country. Yeah, because of those non-conference resume builders they had in December. Ravenel dribbles it off his foot. It'll be Michigan ball. So Dick, Ohio State saw the Michigan 12-0 run, absorbed it, and now on a 7-0 run of their own.
I'll tell you the one thing the Buckeyes have, a common denominator, and I think that's the coaching staff led by Thad Matta. They're going to battle you and fight you. What they're limited offensively, they're going to make up on the defensive side.
They do such a good job. So much defensive attention on Burke. He's been given very little room to work. Shot clock at 14.
So I think he thinks about it a little bit too. I really do. He could say no, but I think psychologically he starts thinking about how I'm going to face Kraft. He's right now on target to do what a guy did up in East Lansing, a fair player by the name of Irvin Magic Johnson. 17 points or more and 7 assists or more. He and Magic are right there with them.
Magic the last to do it in this conference. Good hands by Hardaway to take it away.
If I could pick any player I would have ever wanted to coach, it was Magic.
Burke, who's from Columbus. If you've watched this rivalry and watched this league, you know the story. Ohio State didn't really recruit him. Burke is bleeding, so he's got to get a timeout here to try to get the blood taken care of. You know, players develop at different stages. Aaron Kraft, they had a very good point guard at Ohio State, so they did not recruit Burke, who was the teammate of Jared Sullinger, and he gets very fired up for this game. You see Burke's parents in the stands here in Ann Arbor tonight, and you could tell in the game in Columbus, he was trying to carry the team on his shoulders, and you know Ohio State defensively was going to take him away. That's why he was 4 of 13 from the field.
Well, you know, he committed originally, as you're going to watch him right here, with Kraft, a little change of direction, leaves him, rotate on him, squares up, knocks down the three. He committed to Penn State. I talked yesterday to Thad Matter about that. Thad said he committed early. We then signed Shannon Scott. And by that time, it was too late. Plus, he was only rated upon the Columbia Hardy. They had him 85th on the chart in the top 100. Some guys are late bloomers.
Incredible.
Like Tim Duncan.
Right.
I'll give you another one. David Robinson. Those guys were not big coverage. Oh, Magic. Why didn't you say yes to me, Magic? I begged you. I pleaded with you. Play for our Titans of Detroit. He said, no, I'm staying home.
Spike Albrecht is checked in as Burke gets that busted lip taken to. Albrecht, the freshman, late recruit, comes in and runs the team at times for Quentin Ross with a block for the Buckeyes. Scott on the push.
Surprised the way the Buckeyes are really getting it out in transition. Except on a play at a faster pace, you think that Michigan would like that pace.
Scott coming baseline, pitched it out. Quentin Ross didn't want any part of a shot there. Kraft, good job going inside. Put back in by Ravenel.
Ravenel transfer out of Boston College. Gives him body inside, strength, size. Went to the Final Four last year. Got beat by the Jayhawks. I used to love the combination of Buford and Sullinger.
Michael Albrecht, there was Spike. Took it inside, got tight, turned it over. No foul on the contact from Ravenel, who had that hoop a moment ago. Let's see if that ball was still in the cylinder.
Take a look right here. You're not allowed to play with it up on top. Close, close, very close. But not, well, from that angle right there, it's definitely on it. Unfortunately, referees don't have that.
They keep looking at Burke on the bench. McGarry back in for Michigan. But Quentin Ross pitched it to Scott, who's given Ohio State some good energy since he's come in the game. Combining with Kraft, his speed has been on display. 3 from Kraft is short.
That's the problem with him. He has to really improve his range as a shooter. They missed McGarry, had him in transition.
Working quickly over Ravenel. And Evan gets the rebound for the Buckeyes.
Michigan a much better defensive team than people believe. And a very unselfish play together.
Deflected out by the Wolverines. Buckeye ball on the other side. It's the under 8 timeout. Burke will be back in when we come back from Ann Arbor.
Apple.
Top 10 matchup in Ann Arbor. Michigan leading by 4. Dick mentioned it earlier. Of late, it's been Ohio State dominating this border battle. 10 of the last 12 in that iconic football series. That modest dominance of the Wolverines on the basketball floor. Even Jim Foster, the women's coach at Ohio State, has had success of late against Michigan's women's team. This year, the Buckeyes 2-0, football wins, a basketball win. This game tonight, and the 2 women's basketball programs will play at the end of the season. Only one meeting down in Columbus.
Why, it's pretty tough to have a rivalry unless you get some wins. You got to get wins to get a rivalry. I can hear the Buckeyes screaming out loud and clear.
And 2 of the athletic department. Dean Smith at Ohio State, the athletic director, and what they've done there, and Dave Brandon here at Michigan has really helped get this program on both levels, football and basketball, at a top 10 level.
You know, Bill Martin did a good job setting the tone for Dave Brandon. He has such a passion, played football for Bo Schembechler, was a CEO of Domino's.
Domino's Pizza, which is headquartered here in Ann Arbor. Ross, good baseline jumper from LaQuinton Ross. And tie up there with Amir Williams and Mitch McGarry. The officials stopped play before there were any problems. Down to 2. Dick, that's what you were talking about, the rebuild of Chrysler Arena, now Chrysler Center.
Wow, so much different. My team, when I was with the Pistons, we trained here. It was nothing like this, man.
You didn't have any of this getting ready for your NBA season?
Not whatsoever. Maybe that's why I got fired.
Nice pass by McGarry, and Hardaway's had a good all-floor game in this first half.
Yeah, Hardaway not forcing shots, playing within the realm of the offense. Not really as a young kid trying to take shots. He wants to win.
John Thomas, along with Sam Thompson, leads the Buckeyes with 5 early points. Ross coming baseline. The sophomore Mystic got his own rebound. And McGarry blocked it. Good job. That should have been off of Ross. And the other officials are going to correct Pat Driscoll. It'll be Michigan ball, I'm pretty sure. It is.
Robinson checking on Thomas. Tough assignment for a kid right out of high school. There's Robinson on him, and there's McGarry from the rear side. The ball hits Ross, goes out of bounds, and a good bit of officiating to get it right. I'd love to see you officiate. Something tells me you'd be a heck of an official.
No,
I could see you with that striped shirt.
No, thank you, pal. No, thank you. Not a bit. The officials haven't been busy, Dick, for a Big Ten game. You usually expect only 3 fouls called combined in the first 14 minutes.
Well, you know, Michigan, they lead the nation. They're #1 in not fouling. They don't put you to the line. That was a difference though, but Indiana, at the end of the game, they made 14 in a row.
Charge called on Stauskas, and it was going to get blocked anyway. Would have been Amir Williams' 3rd block. Instead, first foul on Stauskas.
Here's Stauskas showing that he's more than just a jump shooter, but he's up in the air. Defense rotated over, had a great angle, and there's no question that was a charge. Hey, you know, you talk about the Big Ten. People better realize one thing. They're all talking about Indiana, all talking Michigan, all talking the Buckeyes. They're going to talk about a school up there called Spartans and Tom Izzo, because they're not out of it, my friend. Not out of it at all.
We'll see the Wolverines up in East Lansing a week from tonight here on ESPN. What a game that'll be. Thomas baseline, so draws the charge on one end, scores on the other, and it tightens it to a 2-point game again.
Well, he's multi-skilled offensively. He showed his post-up ability right there. Good spin to the baseline side. He's a prolific scorer.
McGarry aggressive to the basket with the lefty layup.
I mean, he wanted that. From the moment he caught that pass, he was determined to get to the rack. What a tight end I think he could be.
He's a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah,
take him out here. McGarry has 8. His season high for the freshman is 10 3 times, including Indiana the other night. Oh, LaQuinton Ross knocks down his 17th 3 of the year.
Tell you one thing, they got some good-looking athletes. They just need consistency out of them. A guy like Ross is up and down. You got to be a consistent player.
That's the most confident stroke I've seen in 2 years in the conference game with LaQuinton Ross. No hesitation. Stauskas on the pitch. Hardaway, a 3.
Hardaway again, showing poise, squared his body really well, didn't force the shot, was a comfortable look, and he knocked it down.
Pretty good game so far.
Yeah, very aggressive defensively. A lot of energy and enthusiasm in the building. Seems everywhere you go.
Clock at 10. Free for 3 is Scott. Rather Smith, excuse me. Lenzel Smith. I think that's his 33rd three-pointer. He's a 43% shooter.
And he's a terrific defensive player. Against Nebraska, he was perfect. He was like a Bo Derek, man. He was 6 for 6. He was perfect as could be in every shape, form, and...
At 21 and 3 threes against the Cornhuskers. Season high for Lenzel. In trouble, Burke gave up his dribble, but Kraft knocked it away. Allowed Burke to dribble again.
See, Burke has a tough time beating him off the bounce to get in a lane. I love that kind of defense.
Gets a three. Fight by Robinson to keep it alive, but he tips it to Kraft, and the Buckeyes can take a lead here at 3:20 to go.
One thing about Kraft, you know he's going to give you a solid performance. Both these point guards are so cerebral. Burke's saying, I can play some D too.
Denzel Smith Jr. missed the second three. Wolverines back the other way with Burke and Kraft waiting for him. And waiting for that spin, too. What a job by Aaron Kraft.
Did you see him beat him to the spot? He beat him to the spot. You drive him, you beat him, and you turn him. Watch him right now. He's going to beat him to the spot. Look at Hardaway with the jumper. And Lenzel says, and then you do, Tim. I can do better.
Okay, Chris, thank you. It was a shocker earlier on tonight in Arkansas. Here, tight, one-point game. Jared Sullinger, former Buckeye, is watching. Pre-game, he tweeted, I'm so tired I might not even make it to 9 to watch the game. Well, he did, and here's what he said after tip. Ohio State has to contain Trey Burke. He's the key to the engine. Better said than done. Now, Jared knows all about Trey Burke because they were high school teammates coached by Jared's dad, Sap.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you should have done a better job of recruiting him. Should have made sure he went to Thad Bonner so we can't lose this kid. I mean, come on. I love Jared. He's a beautiful kid.
Dick, they knocked that ball out as Trey Burke was running deep in the shot clock on the inbounds. Thad Matta's teams are fabulous at denying baseline inbounds plays in the conference. And a good job done once there by Amir Williams guarding the inbounds.
Tell you, they've had some talent down there. What about the club when they had Odin and Conley and company? Tremendous.
Here you are again. Tough to get it in. Just getting it to Hardaway, but then
they don't make you execute or run your out-of-bounds plays. They make sure they take that away from you.
In the perfect spot there. Buckeyes led at 4-3 early on. Michigan had a good push early on. The Buckeyes defense has responded in the middle of this first half.
See, nobody communicated on his screen. He ran him right into his screen, Kraft into the strong body of McGarry.
Gary tipped it out, chased down by Lenzel Smith.
I like Lenzel Smith, a terrific, underrated defensive player. If he can give him some point production like he did against Nebraska. At 21 in that game.
Good hands by McGarry, knocked that away. Stauskas gets it to Burke. Here's the advantage, Michigan. Burke a three. Rebound Kraft, and he'll push it right back.
So cerebral. In fact, both guards, Burke and Kraft.
What a play by Kraft. Great use of the screen, and the Buckeyes take a one-point lead.
He's a winner, man. If you had to really define Kraft, you define him as a winner. Coach's dream. He's going to do everything an extension of a coach from that sideline.
Hardaway on the drive left, forced that way by Smith. McGarry couldn't squeeze it and spun it back in.
They got to increase his minutes. That kid's got to play more minutes. He's too valuable. Plays hard. Was a big-time recruit coming out of high school, Booster Academy.
Suck and win there. He has to come to the bench, and he will at the next dead ball. He's tied his season high with 10 here in the first half.
He's building off the momentum and solid performance against the Hoosiers.
Burke not guarding Kraft. It's Hardaway. The baseline drive. Thomas couldn't finish. Ross inside. Great half for LaQuinton Ross.
He is really getting productive minutes, Mike. 3 big baskets out of that guy off the bench, Ross. He gained eligibility late last year, so he really didn't get a whole lot of playing time.
And that really messed up his development for Ohio State. Burke cannot lose Kraft. Aaron Kraft, tremendous on-ball defender, and he told me today his soccer days, his quick feet, that is what's helped him be such a great on-ball defender.
He's a terrific student, too, in school. All A's, man. He's straight A in high school.
Robinson long on the three. All Buckeyes on the board. They get a use it or lose it timeout. See if Thad Matta wants to take it. He looks over to Chris Jent. The former Buckeye, the assistant coach, calls a set play to Kraft. They'll leave it on the floor to end the half.
Half is the way they want it, really. When you look at the score, tempo, it's about 30. That's the way they play at that kind of pace.
Thomas for 2. Rimmed it out. Stauskas couldn't put a fork in it as this first half comes to an end. The Buckeyes close the half 23-12 and erase that early surge by the Wolverines and send Michigan into the home locker room down by 1. And here's Samantha with the Buckeyes coach.
So far, how would you describe the progression of your offense in the first?
Well, we started taking better care of the basketball, and we've got some unforced turnovers down there that limits us offensively. We got to take care of the basketball. We got to rebound the ball better here. Our transition defense is pretty good right now, but down there we're shooting a high percentage. We just got to get shots.
Michigan is spreading the ball around a lot, but right now Mitch McGary obviously having a big game. What's the answer to what he's doing so far?
Well, they're so good offensively that we're limiting some things, and they're taking advantage of that. And he's just screening and rolling and doing a great job on the offensive glass. So
pick your poison, I guess. All right, thanks, guys.
You're right, Samantha. And what they're doing is limiting Trey Burke. 2 of 6 from the field in the first half, held to 5 points. The Buckeyes shoot 50%. Lead by 1. Here's Chris Connor, UPS halftime report. Second half back in Ann Arbor with Samantha Ponder and Dick Vitale, Mike Tirico. The Buckeyes lead by 1. We talked about this rivalry really defined over the years in football, and there's the countdown clock from earlier today. They don't say Ohio State here. They say Ohio. 297 days till the next game. Chris Connor was just telling you about National Signing Day on the football end. So big for both of these schools. Wall-to-wall, nearly 12 hours of coverage. Luke Samantha will be here in Ann Arbor as Michigan had a good recruiting class along with Ohio State. Brady Hoke, the Michigan football coach, talking to him before, and he said that they have an outstanding group coming in. They got to replace Denard Robinson, who did some special things in his 4 years at Michigan. The same is true with Ohio State. And Dick, they'll be signing the letters of intent, faxing them in. And this is what a national letter of intent looks like. And our friends at Ohio State, knowing that you have 1 semester of eligibility left, have a national letter of intent for you, signed by the athletic director, Gene Smith. So at this time, Dick, we'd like you to sign your national letter of intent.
I'm going to be a Buckeye, man.
You've got 1 semester left.
I'm going to be a Buckeye. I'll tell you that.
Hold on.
I'm a Buckeye. Urban Meyer, I'm a QB.
You take Urban, you want to take anybody else in any other school?
I'm a QB.
Now remember, Greg Paulus is the video coordinator over there for Ohio State.
I know.
Plays 4 years at Duke. Looked at Ohio State and then ended up playing at Syracuse for 1 semester. So there you go.
Played football at Syracuse.
There you go. So there's your letter of intent.
I knew you had to get Syracuse in there.
Somehow.
I knew you had to get it in.
Let's talk about this second half, partner, because Michigan's up against it, you think?
Yeah, they're going to win this game. I'll tell you why they're going to win it. They lost to Indiana. They go on a road to Wisconsin, on the road to Michigan State. This is a must game if your priority and your goal is to win the Big Ten.
And that guy, Aaron Kraft, had some half for Ohio State. Not only the 4 points, but 6 defensive rebounds. Huge.
The last 2 games, he's had 27 points, 13 rebounds. Now you factor in 6 more. He's had 19 rebounds in the last 3 games. He's just a consummate prototype winner. He's an all-winner, that kid.
Amir Williams hands to Kraft, got a step, and got the hoop. So Aaron Kraft moving up to 6 points and 6 boards.
Plays with such intensity, such passion, is a terrific leader on the floor. What coach would want that kid in your lineup?
And Dick, although Trey Burke did not turn the ball over, he could not turn the corner on Kraft, whose defense was great. McGarry to Stauskas, great play coming out of the half for the Wolverines.
Nice little 2-man play by the 2 freshmen. John Beilein does a great job teaching. He has great sets offensively. He's done a phenomenal job everywhere he's been, and he's been everywhere. Junior college, Division II, Division III, he's been everywhere.
Richmond, West Virginia before coming here. And Zell Smith gets it to Kraft, clock at 12. Deshaun Thomas working out of the right corner where he loves to shoot. Great feed inside for the 2 for Smith.
Terrific bounce pass along that baseline by Thomas. Showed some unselfish. Normally a scorer will try to force that action. Ohio State really executing their offense here. Second part of the first half and early here. I think what Tad Bonner told Sam is so true. They've done a great job in defensive transition. They've not allowed Michigan to have 3-on-2s, 4-on-3s.
And that was a bad possession for Michigan as they had nothing organized on the offensive end. Thomas launches and misses. Rebound by Stauskas. Michigan with 3 freshmen on the floor. The lob to one of them.
See, that's their game. That's their game. To try and beat you up the floor, then immediately gets a rise off the bench by Thad Matta. Not happy with their transition right there. Something like that did not happen in the first half.
Moved by Robinson, makes it a 1-point game.
Michigan can be very explosive.
Gary overplayed the passing lane. Smith fading away. Tough shot. What a rebound by Thomas. Fights Stauskas for it. And one. Deshaun Thomas.
That's a PTPer, my friends. He's a prime-time player. Told you earlier, if I had to rate my players right now, my Super 7 as impact players, I would go with Burke. I would go with Doug McDermott of Creighton, Ben McLemore. I would then factor in people like, as you see right here, Thomas. You think about certainly Cody Zeller.
Oladipo too, right?
Oladipo's right there as well as Mason Plumlee. That would be my 7. 7 impact players at the midseason mark. We've really made their mark. I mean, you get 20 every night out of that kid. And he usually rises in the big game, the big moment.
Largest lead of the night for Ohio State, it's 4.
Fights the crowd a little bit, too.
Burke knocks down the 3.
How big was that? I took a picture before the game with his mom and dad, got a hug. You should see, looking in their eyes, how proud they are. There they are, mom and dad. I put them on Twitter, man. Trey came to me, he said, Trey said, my mom and dad are looking for you.
Good job by McGarry there, not letting Kraft turn the corner. Both ways, the hedging defensively is outstanding on these ball screens.
I love the way you call that hedging. You've been around UB Brown too much. Calling hedging, stepping in the passing lane.
Clock running down. That turnover forced by the defense of the Wolverines. 1 second, not a turnover yet. 1 second on the clock. Here's Samantha Ponder.
Yeah, Mike, I asked John Beilein what the difference was between the beginning of the first half and the end of it, and he said it was all defense. We're not closing out. We're giving them very easy shots, and we're not getting back in transition.
That's the 52% from the field, Sam. 1 to shoot. Thompson gets it to Kraft. Oh, big 3, Aaron Kraft.
Who said he has no range? Who said he has no range? They ought to pocket that, baby. Did he come to play tonight? But he always comes to play. Always.
And Michigan played great defense for 34 seconds. Good job on the inbounds. Big bump, no foul. It'll be Amir Williams as the second foul called on the Buckeyes. Their first foul called was 37 seconds into the game.
You know, both clubs not fouling. Here's Kraft. Does he get it off in time?
Ooh, no, it's still in his hands, yep.
That's still in his hands, man.
Yep.
Wow.
Still in his hands at the shot clock. Got to 0. That's why they're all over the officials, plus that last foul called not in the act of shooting on Amir Williams. As I said, just the second foul of the night called on Ohio State.
See, I think Hardaway's got to become a little more aggressive offensively. They're doing a great job. That perimeter defense is the best in America that they play at Ohio State, Mike. No one plays suffocating defense on the guards like they do.
Switch Burke was picked up by Smith, and on the turnover, Kraft has it for Ohio State.
And remember, Michigan doesn't usually turn the ball over. 9.4 a game.
Smith tried to come baseline. It was tipped away. It was the first turnover in 11 minutes. We hit the official timeout under 16. Maybe a SportsCenter top 10 nominee. Maybe a miss by the officials on the shot clock. But definitely a deep 3 by the leader, Aaron Kraft. In state battle, the next journey to the tourney, next big Monday, as Kansas State takes on Kansas. Dick was just talking about the freshman Ben McLemore and the Jayhawks. You'll see them in Allen Fieldhouse, 9 o'clock ESPN, also live on the Watch ESPN app. See how Kansas State got off to their terrific start. Lost that first meeting at tight 4.1, and McLemore, as you mentioned, Dick, one of the big impact players in college basketball this year. There his numbers in the last 5 games.
Yeah, gentle Ben. They ran into a real tough situation against Marcus Smart. Have you seen that diaper dandy?
On
He's
TV
terrific.
only.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, special. Really special. Travis Ford has a great one. What about Florida getting beat?
I was just thinking about that.
Oh, wow.
You continue with this hard-to-predict college basketball season.
It's Florida. Wide open. Wide open this year.
Good shot fake by Smith. Better hands by McGarry to knock it away. Here come the Wolverines, down 4.
See, I think now Hardaway's got to get a little more aggressive offensively. I think he's being a little too passive.
Mitch McGarry, who started this second half. You'd be surprised if you see him in the starting lineup or having the lion's share of the minutes at the 5 position as we go through this month for Michigan. Sets terrific screens that they can't get over the top of. It allows Burke to shoot. But the miss and the rebound by Deshaun Thomas.
You're right. He really gets a great body on people with his screening ability.
Good trigger. Confident trigger, too. Sam Thompson for the 2. And Sam Thompson and LaQuinton Ross are playing with confidence here tonight, building the Buckeyes' largest margin.
Tell you one thing, if those 2 guys can give them point production just a little bit to help Thomas, they're going to be a dynamite club down the end. They need those guys to step up, and they're doing it here tonight.
Good baseline cut. Great challenge by Amir Williams on Robinson, but the foul, the second on the Ohio State starting center.
Well, he came over, really, it's a good foul because he had a jam. Tremendous look by Burke. Burke has not gotten anything easy all night. As the good look as the defense rotated over the contact. That's only the 7th foul between both clubs in this game.
And do you think they're letting a lot of contact go, or do you think the players aren't fouling?
I don't think they're fouling. I really do. I think the one thing both clubs are so well coached that they defend with good foot movement. They don't really foul. They get good positioning. I mean, it's too consistent. Michigan all year long lead the nation in not fouling.
Jordan Morgan in for Michigan, Evan Ravenel for Ohio State.
And that's a big plus, Mike. When you're not fouling and giving people easy baskets and easy points, that's a big plus for you.
It is 5 and change gone by second half.
Zone it. They're zoning. They came out of the man-to-man. Years ago, he played zone often, John Beeline, when he was down there at West Virginia.
This 2-3 and the 1-3-1. Deshaun Thomas off the mark, but Burke pushed him on the hip, says Pat Driscoll. First foul on Trey.
Tad Mono liked that call. And what he did against that zone, he slid right behind the front duo and had a guy at the foul line area. You watch right here. He gets right in that foul line area, and he's able to operate in there. Got behind the front two of the 2-3.
Not a ton of contact from the first angle of the replay. As Thomas, a good free throw shooter, hits number 1.
Slides right behind the 2. I don't see much contact at all. I don't see any contact. Do you? And I got one eye. I got one. You got 2. You should be able to see.
He did not touch. He touched him barely. But Thomas gets the 2, and Ohio State extends the lead to 7.
I mean, Michigan needs to get some life offensively. Their offense has been really contained, starting on the perimeter with the perimeter defensive craft.
Burgess went by Ravenel, and he's called for his first foul.
Sam Thompson, an excellent defensive player as well, joining guys like Lenzel Smith. They really buy in to playing defense with a sense of pride.
Hardaway, Thompson gets up and knocks it away. Good night in terms of blocked shots for Ohio State. That's their 4th.
Well, guys like Amir Williams and Thompson, they have that ability. Craft a little switch out front.
Now guarding Nick Stauskas, the sharpshooting freshman, hit 2 threes in the first half.
Look at the way he stays in front of you.
Unbelievable.
Are you serious? I mean, that is just phenomenal defense. That is phenomenal. Coaches dream of kids doing that.
Thomas missed a 3. Thompson went up to get it, taken away by Morgan. Michigan on the push. Hardaway fouled by Thompson.
No doubt about that. I mean, I want you people to watch the positioning of his feet when he plays defense right here, Kraft. Look at Kraft. Look at his feet. Beat him to the spot. Beats him to the spot. Never allows the guy to take that turn. And there's the block shot. Great timing by Thompson. That's the strength. When you look at Ohio State, you have to chart strengths and weaknesses, strength, defense.
He was the Big Ten's Defensive Player of the Year last year, and usually that's reserved for shot blockers, big rebounders.
Exactly.
But his on-ball defense so extraordinary night in, night out, and he's taken it even to another level, especially against Burke. A little change in the defense, and Michigan made him pay. Burke on the punch, John Horford.
Nice little simple bounce pass. Horford with the score. Horford's had so many injuries. The crowd's getting into it. Can the team feed off that?
Kraft almost lost it.
Hello, look at the feet of Burke. He goes right by it.
Ravenel set a good screen to give him space, and the corner three knocked down by Smith again.
And who created it? Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft. He's got a great craft in the defensive end. I'll tell you what, he better be in a running for National Defensive Player of the Year. Don't just give it to guys that block shots inside. Think about his work ethic.
Great cut to the basket. And one on the finish for Robinson.
Terrific hang time right there by Robinson. That was a little bit emulating his dad. His dad had great body control when he started at Purdue.
We've seen guys named Robinson make big plays here in Ann Arbor. You saw Denard react to the freshman, the basketball player, Glenn Robinson III.
I mean, isn't that strength, laying down the glass? Hey, you know all the football players. I wanted to meet Denard Robinson. Why don't you get me to meet him? I want his autograph.
I'm sure I can bring you over later if
you
you really want to.
Yeah, we're going to meet him.
Jake Ryan, Michigan player, came over to see you. Aaron Kraft for Ohio State coming to the bench here for a couple of minutes.
Hey, tell me something. Is that dude a good player that came over?
Tremendous player.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
Wow.
defensive player. Very good defensive
I should
player.
have his autograph. Here's Michigan, baby. They got to get back, down 5. Remember this. They got road trips coming up in Wisconsin, Michigan State. They better win this, baby.
Thomas has it knocked away from behind by Robinson. Burke on the push, no Kraft on the floor. Great job by Shannon Scott to tie him up and lock him up, and the arrow will keep it down here with the Wolverines.
You know, Mike, I thought there was a double dribble back there by Stauskas. Did you?
Yes.
I thought he dribbled and then re-dribbled again. Take a look at this. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at these 4 when it ends with Michigan State. Then it gets a little bit easier. I mean, they should win the next 3. They should win the next 3. Penn State, Illinois, and Penn State.
But you're putting together the 4 with the Indiana game you and Dan Shulman had Saturday, tonight, and then these 2 games.
I don't think there's a tougher 4 you could face. Anybody in college, show me 4 like that.
Especially with 3 on the road. Yeah.
They go to Wisconsin, that's like going to get a root canal. Man, are you kidding me? And you know we hate those babies.
Big 3, knocked down from the top by Hardaway. 2-point game, and the house is rocking here in Ann Arbor.
They needed that. Hardaway's got to really start to be aggressive. He's been a little passive here.
Kraft back on the floor right away at that last dead ball. Inside, good power by Williams, couldn't finish. Cleaned up by Ross, LaQuinton Ross.
I'll tell you one thing, what a big time evening he's having. His PT playing time is going to go up because he has really been productive.
That's 9-point stick, and that's the most he's had in the Big Ten game in his first 2 seasons.
And what a time for it to happen. He'll be big man on campus tomorrow down there at Columbus. If they can hold on and win this game.
Burke trying to lose Kraft. He will see Aaron Kraft in his sleep. Number 3 by Hardaway.
He's got such style. Learned so much from his dad. Came out of Miami here, Michigan. Made 2 big threes, Mike. 2 big threes. And shot them with confidence and poise.
This Buckeye group does not blink. This guy especially, Thomas, blocked inside, off him last. Michigan ball on the other side. NBA Wednesday, got a great matchup coming up. match the intensity here tonight on the floor. You want to see the best? How about the best record in the NBA? San Antonio again. Greg Popovich, Tony Parker averaging over 20 a game. They'll be in Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm.
What a job Popovich has done. As you look at the big guy, he could score when he played. He was like automatic, man. He put on a show down there at Purdue. Gene Katie, Len Robinson. How does he let him go to Michigan? How does he let him go to Michigan? Why, he committed early, John Beeline told me. That was one of the things. They jumped on him really early.
Glenn Robinson was that #1 overall pick in the '94 draft. Finished his career with the Spurs, but started for Milwaukee. 94, after he came out of Purdue as the #1 pick, on through 02, a couple of all-star teams, and was finally part of an NBA championship team on that Spurs roster in 2005. One-point game, almost halfway home here. Mike Tirico, Dick Vitale, Samantha Ponder. Glad you're with us as we start the second half of the season in the best conference so far in the country, the Big Ten.
Now we're watching the best backcourt in America against the best defensive backcourt.
Hardaway for 3 in the lead.
Why not? Why not go to him? Smart play by Burke. 3 of them, baby. 3 in a row. His father couldn't shoot it like that, but his father had some change of direction. You break your ankles, Mike.
4th 3 of the night for Hardaway. Michigan by 2. But Quentin Ross gallops in to tie the game.
Basket by Quentin Ross.
You talk about a guy's stock that's going up. Mr. Ross.
They desperately need his offensive man, and they're getting it tonight. Best Big Ten game he's had.
And I think of the name Ross, I think of a guy named Rocky Ross. He was a big Michigan fan. Passed away. A terrific guy. His daughter's in the house tonight. Rocky would have loved this team.
McGarry with the post move, but short on the shot. Rebound by Amir Williams. And here's Shannon Scott for Ohio State.
Neither team can get away with a big spurt. A 14-2 run. Can't get it. These clubs keep battling at you defensively. I love seeing teams that play together, play as a tandem.
Thomas did good early work to beat the freshman to the spot, and Robinson couldn't recover.
He's got a lot of strength in that body. When you look at Deshaun Thomas.
John Beeline's going to take a timeout. Mitch McGarry, I think, may have taken an elbow a play or so ago. And he's dazed a little bit as we hit a timeout. Under 9 left. Some of the nearly $100 million of renovations to what used to be Chrysler Arena, which opened in 1968, now known as the Chrysler Center. Home of the Michigan Wolverines for basketball, and Deshaun Thomas has made a good home, especially in the paint again tonight. Dick, 14 points, 7 rebounds for the leading scorer in the conference.
Well, he's so versatile in that area. He has that multi-skill, little head fake, ball fake, good strong left hand. He's had a knack for scoring. I can see why he was the 3rd all-time leading scorer in the state of Indiana.
He's played all 40 minutes the last 2 games and has been out there throughout for the Buckeyes here tonight against the Wolverines.
Tell you one thing, he's earning his scholarship because he's not coming out of this game. This baby's going right down to maybe the last possession. Look at Kraft denying the ball to Burke. Not allowing Burke to get the ball.
I mean, feeling it.
Is he feeling it? He's got the groove right now. He's got the groove. He's feeling it. He said, get me the rock. That's 4 in a row he's knocked down.
And Michigan's hit all 5 threes in the second half. Back up by 1. Good feed in time. Williams was left free, and he finished it as the contact came from Horford.
Poor job by Michigan defensively. Didn't rotate over quick enough. No communication. Look at Tim Hardaway Jr. Hooks up with Burke, forms a dynamite duo. He's just stroking it. Squared his body really well. Look at him square the body. Put the shoulders, square it. On the rim, as your boy Yubi would say. Yubi some clinician. There he is, square the body. Love that. He is feeling it.
Tim Hardaway, 5 3-pointers in the game. Amir Williams completes the 3-point play. That ties a career high. It's the 7th time that Hardaway's made 5 threes in a game. But a good 3-point old-fashioned way by Williams gives the Buckeyes a 2-point lead with 8.5 to go.
The one thing with Hardaway is shot selection. When he takes good shots and squares his body, he's effective. He had a tendency earlier in his career to take some bad shots.
Trying to get it to Hardaway and a hold on Ohio State. And here's Samantha Ponder.
Yeah, Mike, John Beilein in that last huddle, very upset with his guys, telling them very simply, you're not playing tough. Ohio State is playing more physical. You're not going up strong. You're getting pushed around under the hoop, and you're not making hard cuts on offense.
It's a 56% shooting performance, Sam, from Ohio State. That was team foul number 6 on the Buckeyes. So the next one will get Michigan to the free throw line. They've only been there 5 times thus far tonight. Robinson hands. Hardaway getting very little airspace after hitting the 5 threes. They're not going to use a ball screen to get free.
Michigan shoots 50% as a team all year long. They're really effective offensively, lead the nation in offensive efficiency.
Horford got the rebound, didn't get the finish. Robinson tough inside, and Williams just engulfed it.
Williams takes it right away from the diaper dandy. Shot selection so big now when you get down here, the last 6-7 minutes of a game. Got to make sure the right people are shooting the ball.
Ross gets it back in the hands of Kraft. Shot clock at 12. Smith. Ross a 3. Oh, look, Quentin Ross having the night of his Big Ten life.
He's having a night of his life in terms of effort. Guys come up with some big shot, one after another. What a performance off the bench. He's a roll-aid specialist now, man. Burke has been really quiet. There's a switch off from Kraft.
And Burke just 3 of 8.
Dump it inside. Look at the mismatch inside.
Yep, Horford has Kraft there defending. And Kraft is yelling at Amir Williams to stay there. Now the find of Horford. The contact. Horford cannot finish inside. Burke to the deck. Call timeout.
Horford got away with a charge on Kraft. That shoulder went right into Kraft defensively.
And Thad Mott is out at midcourt letting the officials know he thinks they missed one.
They did.
Timeout Wolverine. Indiana on top of the Big Ten. Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, 1 game back. And Dick, you're impressed with what you've seen from Ohio State and their ability not to blink when they get hit by 3 and 3 and 3 by Hardaway.
Well, I love their toughness. They have a special toughness about them. What they're limited in offense, they make up with their defensive ability and their toughness and their physicality. They don't back away. This is a tough place to play right here tonight, especially with them coming off that loss. And they also a payback. They lost to Ohio State. You would say all the motivation and the inspiration would be on the side of the Wolverines. But right now, Thad Mott has his kids ready to play. Urban Meyer would love this Buckeye team.
Talking about Urban Meyer, the Ohio State football coach. The undefeated season this year, and the Buckeyes in basketball at 17-4. Michigan now down 5. Burke tried to feed it in a wraparound to McGarry. It's out of bounds. So this is the under 8 timeout here at 6:33 to go in February. Game with the intensity of March. Another journey to the tourney game.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Now that's better.
Back here in Ann Arbor, some of the behind-the-scenes looks of the work done by our friends at ESPN, the magazine. And some of these pictures they've taken in sites around both programs as they've been, quote, embedded with Michigan and Ohio State. Thad Mott, the only chance you get to rest as a coach is when you travel into the game site. They travel with the Buckeyes up here to Ann Arbor, behind the scenes with John Beilein and his staff as they put the game plan together in the locker room there the other night, the build-up for this game. So you will see ESPN, the magazine, entire issue dedicated to one day, one game. They did it with football earlier this year.
Alabama, right?
That's exactly right.
Alabama and LSU, they did it in football.
And they'll do it for this Michigan-Ohio State game. So if you're a college hoops fan or a fan, especially these 2 schools, look for that coming up in the next couple of issues of ESPN, the magazine. 6:33 to go. Ohio State up 5, looking to sweep the regular season from Michigan and continue their dominance of the Wolverines, especially under Thad Mott.
Well, Trey Burke's going to have to find a way to make something happen.
It's been the Hardaway half. He missed the 2. Inside, McGarry goes up and 1.
Old-fashioned 3 right there. Old-fashioned 3. McGarry, I can see why you like him, Mike. We talk about energy. We talk about a wide body. We talk about toughness. Then he's going to work on the offensive boards. Number 4, keeping the ball alive. A little head fake and a conversion.
Now Amir Williams, his third. At one point a year or so ago, Mitch McGarry was rated by some services the #1 high school recruit. Didn't end the year like that. Has certainly shown his defensive prowess. One hustle, who's it out off of last. Off Ohio State. Tremendous hustle by Glenn Robinson to get a free possession.
Yeah, Robinson did a terrific job right there. That's a hustle play. We saw a very similar hustle play in the Indiana game by Cody Zeller. That really was an effective play that affected that game. Now, Burke's got to find a way. Get a screen and use it. I think he's a little too hesitant. I know Kraft's good, but you got to really take that challenge and attack him.
Stauskas had 2 early threes, hasn't had a clean look since. Hardaway attacks the basket. And going to go the other way. Offensive foul call. Guess who was in there drawing some contact?
Michigan foul number 10,
second foul on Hardaway.
That's his second.
I tell you, Kraft's all over the floor. If you had to pick an MVP, I know you can talk about Ross and what he's done. That MVP goes for number 4. If they leave, he gets my gold trophy. I'll let you buy it and I'll present it.
I'll be glad to. One of my favorite players to watch in the league here, night in, night out. Trapped on the sideline, but calmly worked it out. Williams, the dive to the rim.
What a terrific job against the trap. Reverse the ball, bring it away from the trap, go down to gut, find a guy down to gut for the layup. Great execution by Ohio State.
Hardaway. Oh, wow.
Where would they be without his jumper? Where would they be without that trifecta? 6 of them.
His career best 2-point game.
Oh, what a battle, my friends. Best conference in America. 2 Goliaths going at it.
Working inside Williams, another punch. Amir Williams giving Ohio State some of its best basketball.
You know, it's amazing, Mike. Every time you come up with a big shot by Hardaway, you think it might break their back a little bit. They come back right at you, and they punch you right back in the face. They really come at you. They don't back away.
Giving Hardaway 0 room and fouled. He'll come to the free throw line. Ohio State's over the limit, 1-1.
We talked about it earlier. That minus 1, 8 out of 9. That's right down the gut of the defense. Very unselfish. And there's Hardaway with the 3. And now they answer the 3. They come back right inside to Amir Williams. And he's going to score around the basket. Here he is right down on a low box. And there's the deuce. That's a tough guy to replace, stepping in for Jared Sullinger. Sullinger and Buford were about 34 points a game between both of them.
Hardaway hit all those threes, but misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Michigan only 3 of 7 at the line.
That could be a big part. That could be a big part of this game coming down the stretch, the free throw line.
Homecoming game for Amir Williams. That ball slips out. Last touch by Michigan. Amir Williams, Country Day High School, Birmingham, Michigan. About 40 minutes from here. Mitch McGarry out. No, John Horford comes in. Doesn't get McGarry, but instead will get Glenn Robinson as Michigan goes big.
You know, Williams played at Detroit Country Day, and that's certainly where Chris Webber, Shane Battier, Chris Webber part of that Fab 5. Say what you want about him. We will never see that duplicated. 5 freshmen going to the final game of an NCAA. Jalen Rose, Chris Webber, Howard, Jackson, and King.
Ross in a tough spot, trapped, in trouble. Buckeye bench called the timeout with 4 on the shot clock and a 4-point Ohio State lead. The Buckeyes designed the side out. We remind you, college hoops anytime, anywhere. Computer, tablet, smartphone, it's watchespn.com and the Watch ESPN app. When you look at the game tonight, you look at Aaron Kraft with 9 points, but you should look at the score line for Trey Burke to tell you the night that Aaron Kraft has had.
There he is right there, on best offensive guard in America. He's made him work all day. He's made him give up the ball. He stayed in front of him. He beats him to the spot. He does a great job with his footwork. He's been the catalyst. He's been the leader, and he's been the engine that has given them this lead. It's been a lot of fun with you, Mike.
Great to see you, pal. It's been it's been about 12 years since I've done a game with you.
Wow.
And I just say, at your young age, you're as enthusiastic and passionate as ever about the game.
I appreciate it, Mike.
We were doing games before Sam was even born. 4 seconds to shoot here for Ohio State. LaQuinton Ross will throw it in.
Well, they got to come up with a stop here and not foul and not let a guy like Kraft hit a three like he did at the end of the shot clock earlier in the game.
Denzel Smith, he's short on it. The rebound by Hardaway. It's 5 on 4 with Thomas down for the moment. Burke pushes. Stauskas trailing. Kraft reacts to him quickly.
He plays tough against anybody he guards. He doesn't care who he's going to guard. Look at this here. Look at this here. He forces the turnover. Unbelievable.
So will you promise me the rest of the year that you'll keep the light on for that kid for National Defensive Player of the Year?
Absolutely.
I know New Orleans know all the blocks, all the block shots, but you got to watch this kid. This is night in, night out, not just tonight.
Absolutely. You know, the shot blocker obviously gets all the credit. People get excited seeing it. This kid's work ethic is unreal. Not only is a phenomenal shot blocker, there's no doubt about it, but he has got to be in a running for National Defensive Player of the Year. What he's done here to Burke, I mean, he's made Burke look ordinary here tonight. He's done it in the previous 4 matchups as well.
Holding Burke to 8. Trey Burke has scored double digits every game this year. Turnover there. Burke ahead of the field, chased by Williams.
That's what Michigan does well. If they can force the turnover, get in transition. John Beilein says, please, give me a birthday gift. It's my birthday today. All I want is a win over the Buckeyes.
Kraft leaning in, couldn't finish. Burke the other way. Michigan can tie or take the lead. Stauskas for 3, and the lead.
The roof is coming off. They're going to need a renovation.
Timeout, Ohio State.
They better get a TO, baby.
Enjoying yourself the last 2 days, 3 days in the Big Ten?
And we get paid for this.
Yes, we do.
We get a check for this.
Yes, we do.
Are you serious? Stealing money. This is unbelievable. What a great environment and what a big shot by Stauskas. And that is the value of the three-point shot. Where would they be without the 6 that Hardaway made? Unbelievable to keep them in the game.
Dick, they've made 25 field goals, 12 threes, and 13 twos in this game.
Wow. Unbelievable. Pat doing a great job with our stats. What a great environment. John Beilein, all he wants, it's his birthday today. Wants nothing but a W over the Buckeyes. What spirit. I always get a kick when I hear basketball doesn't matter until March. Come with us and see the intensity, the emotion, the passion that these kids play with. Dan and I saw it the other night in Indiana. It's unbelievable.
Denzel Smith in the lane, couldn't finish. Amir Williams got the rebound, put back no, but he's coming to the free throw line where he has lived the last couple of games. The intensity of both coaches, 2 well-prepared teams. Down the stretch we come in Ann Arbor. Michigan by 1. Great seeing at Assembly Hall Saturday night when Michigan was #1. They were knocked off by now #1 Indiana. Turn the favor a few days later here in Ann Arbor with the scene. Here's what's on the line. The 3 teams a game behind the Hoosiers. Indiana still has to come here. Michigan goes to Michigan State next week. Ohio State plays Indiana at home on Sunday. Man alive, there's no rest. And Indiana doesn't have an easy one. It's a little bit desperate. 2-7 in the league, but top 50 RPI Illinois team. That starts on Thursday night showcase. Washington, UCLA out in the Pac-12 will follow. That's the Thursday night action on ESPN.
You're right, Mike. Illinois is going to be a desperate team up in Champaign, and that is not going to be Cupcake City for Indiana. Then in a matter of 48 hours, they got to go to Columbus, Ohio. Then they got to go to Spartan Country, because you and I are going to be there.
That'll be great in a couple of weeks. Indiana, Michigan State. Amir Williams was 7 of 8 last game at the line. He's 2 of 3 tonight.
The edge on the free throw line has gone to Ohio State. Comes up empty there. Michigan's 3 for 7 here. local youngster. Played at a great high school, Detroit Country Day, a terrific school.
Split the pair. 3 minutes, all even.
Got a big performance out of Ross, and Williams on the inside has been solid for him. Burke is 4 for 9 so far.
Hardaway took off, didn't have room. Burke for 3. Got it!
Boys, knocked it down. Got 13 now, a tough 13.
Look at he and Aaron Craft in their head-to-head, their one-on-one defensive battle.
Both from Columbus, Ohio.
Great screen by Deshaun Thomas. Tremendous screen, but he missed the 3. Staus gets the rebound for Michigan. Threw it right to Thomas. Knocked down the 3. Tied at 68.
Thomas with the turnover. Oh, wow. Coming down the last 2 minutes, baby. I think whoever has the ball last. Right now, you want to make sure if you're Michigan, it's got to be Hardaway or Burke. Stauskas, if he gets open for a 3, you got to find him.
It's a good call. It's a hold. Let's see it. The hold's on Kraft. Oh, I thought the hold was on Michigan. So did Thad Mata. He's in disbelief.
Kraft was an outstanding quarterback, in high school. Right here. Now watch this. He bumps him right there. Foul was on Kraft. Foul was on Kraft. He leaned in. He bumped up. He was a terrific high school quarterback who then his senior year just concentrated on basketball.
Hardaway, 1 of 3 at the line. Got the front end this time.
Come down the stretch, you got to make those. Up in Indiana, they made 14 in a row against Michigan. They were big coming down the stretch. You tried to get back on a team, and they converted.
Quentin Ross back in for Sam Thompson. Hardaway's 2 gives Michigan a 2-point lead.
Well, right now, you know they're going to be looking for Thomas as the #1 option. And Robinson checking Thomas.
Kraft nearly lost his handle. McGarry deflects it on the kick. 26 on the shot clock.
Okay, one thing about McGarry, he's always in the action. Yeah. Steps off screens, gives help, hedges.
Again, Michigan, 3 freshmen on the floor at crunch time.
One of the youngest teams in America, if not the youngest.
Kraft able to find help in the corner from Ross. Short, got his own rebound.
Great offensive rebound.
Up strong look. Quentin Ross ties it at 70.
What a terrific offensive rebound by Ross. Nobody blocked out. And this shot is a dangerous shot. People have a tendency just to go to the glass and don't block out.
Robinson gets it to Hardaway. Minute 20 to go. Back to the freshman Robinson.
Trying to get good spacing here.
Burke trying to get the angle. Kraft has shut him down from getting in the lane all night.
There's a screen for him. Gonna step out on the screen, get down the lane.
Bounce pass, McGarry!
Great execution. Spread the court. Find the open man. Years ago, I used to watch that with Phil Ford. Spread the court. Find the open man when he played at Carolina. Terrific, unselfish play by Burke. Get over the top of the screen.
Kraft in trouble. What a find in the corner. Smith. Good closeout by Stauskas. Kraft has it with the clock at 11. Trying to turn the corner. Here is Kraft. What a move inside. Deflects out to the Buckeyes. Smith the shot fake. Smith a shot. Ties it at 72.
Offensive rebound again. I'm telling you, the lack of blocking out is a nightmare. Here we go.
Ohio State wanted a timeout, didn't get it. Timeout taken by Michigan. It was close on the line, but live it looked like a 2. The Ohio State bench wasn't complaining that it should have been a 3. And here's one look.
If you're not sure, you got to go to the monitor and check this.
Clearly on the foot. Nobody questioned it. What the Buckeye staff questioned the most, they wanted a timeout to set their defense, and none of the officials could see them.
Definitely on the line right now. You're Michigan. They're going to spread the court, and they're going to put the ball in Burke's hands, and he's either going to beat you off the bounce, or he's going to try to find somebody. And I'll tell you this, the most dangerous guy on the floor is the offensive side, the rebounder from the weak side. If you don't block out, I've seen so many games come down to where the offensive rebound was the difference maker.
The officials do want to take a look to see if it was a 3 or 2, so they'll take a peek.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a 2. He's squarely on the line. Squarely on the line. Are you kidding me?
Quick check, and they confirm it. It's 2.
That's good officiating. You want to make sure. I'll tell you, Mike, this is the one heck of a battle. Very intense. Right now, if you're Ohio State, you got to be careful of giving help, too. You got to close off the driving angle on Burke, but you better watch out for him dumping it off for that layup.
Dick, when I talked to Aaron Kraft about getting over screens and guarding Trey Burke, we talked about Mitch McGary and how wide and quick-footed and athletic he is. He said those are hard screens to get around. Let's watch if McGary sets the screen here. If Burke ends up and set at the top.
You got to just switch.
Shot clock is off, 21.3 to go. Both teams have timeouts.
Got to protect the basket with Williams.
Using the backcourt to get it to Burke. And the Columbus, Ohio native.
Here we go, baby. Here we go.
Brings it up.
There it is, the 1-4. 4 guys along the baseline. Put the ball in the hands of the best offensive guard in America.
Robinson comes to set the screen. There's the switch. The game at 4. It is Burke. Stepping back for 3. And the win.
That's the offensive rebound. Nope, going OT, baby.
And we'll go to overtime. A terrific defensive switch, as we suggested. Deshaun Thomas comes out. Doesn't give Burke the space. And we'll take 5 more of this.
I thought it was a tough shot right there. They did a great job defensively, Ohio State. Made him take a tough shot.
It was a Burke step-back 3 for the lead in the last half minute in Columbus in Game 1 that didn't go. Ohio State won that. This one needs more time. Mike Tirico, Dick Vitale, Samantha Ponder with you in Ann Arbor. Top 10 game living up to every drop of the billing as we go to overtime. Dick, a bizarre play here to get the 3 for Deshaun Thomas after he missed one.
Right, the ball came right back. And he gets the second opportunity. There were 2 offensive rebounds that really hurt Michigan. Lost with the great second effort on a missed shot. Now we're going 5 more minutes, my friend.
Foul trouble, 3 personal fouls on Amir Williams and Lenzel Smith for the Buckeyes. No Wolverine has more than 2. You see that it's the first OT game. Either way, 6th game of the conference that has gone to overtime, and right after this is done, Sports Center will follow.
Well, I love that hail to the victors. It's great. It's not bad to be the second best fight song in America.
Second
time I
best
said that.
To what?
Cheer, cheer for the Lord. No, I'm only teasing. I'm only teasing. All right, here we go. 5 minutes.
Michigan will get Mitch McGary instead of John Horford to start overtime.
Most of the time, you give the edge to the home team in terms of the overtime scenario. He's smiling at us. He's smiling. Another day at the office.
I can just tell you a quick word with the officials at the end of regulation, and what an appreciation they have for the way the game's being played tonight. Both ways. Both teams, both programs, the way their players have acted on the floor, the benches, and also the preparation, too. Terrific game to be a part of.
Well, great players on the floor playing together as a unit. And a great screen. Now McGary's coming up with a big body.
Clock at 8. Inside, McGary loses it, out of bounds. Samantha Ponder, it'll be a Michigan ball.
Yeah, Mike, I did find out during that last timeout, that was the design for Trey to go one-on-one and take that shot. Looking forward now, he said they're playing aggressive. He wants them to get downhill more, though. Wants them to get to the basket and not settle for outside. Well, not settle for that, but when it goes in, he's okay with it.
That's right. Late in the clock, he had to do it.
John Beilein says, you know what? That was a great shot. I like my guy. That's a great shot. But I think he's become too jump shot oriented. I agree with Sam, what she's talking about there.
Foul off the ball. Burke bumped Kraft on a cut, and that foul was called by Pat Driscoll underneath. That is Michigan's 6th team foul.
You know,
So
you're going to look at the
side-out.
total numbers of Berg, and you're going to say, wow, great game he had against Kraft. But you know what? Kraft has really contained him big time. I don't care what he ends up scoring here. He has contained him.
Denzel Smith always shot fakes. Always goes up that immediate shot fake, Smith.
See, a lot of kids don't use the shot fake and ball fake, and it's so effective. Trying to get good spacing here and lay that screen. Play those ball screens.
Kraft splitting the double. No good. Rebound by Stauskas for Michigan. Burke with the push. Stauskas thought about the three. Pitched it in the corner. And Robinson was closed out on by Thomas. Ron Beeline asking for his team to get a little motion in their game here and weave it up at the top.
Having a tough time trying to find a shot for Stauskas.
Pass inside. Stauskas caught it. Clock at 10. Get it to Burke. Working on Kraft.
Can't beat him off the bounce.
McGarry got to put it up. Williams knocked it to Stauskas. And he crashed the glass with a rebound taken by Thomas of Ohio State.
What a terrific defensive sequence by Ohio State.
Corner free Sam Thompson. Renzo Smith couldn't tie it at 75. Rebound Hardaway, Michigan.
What a great effort. 5 guys rotated, played as a unit defensively in that last possession by the Buckeyes.
Only one basket scored in overtime.
I would try to find a screen for Stauskas.
Hardaway. So hot from 3. He made 6 in the game. McGarry, the great work. Gets up possession back for Michigan.
Todd Bonner can't believe that call. He's chewing that gum, man. Just got a nice raise.
On the foul here, it's McGarry. Bumped into Smith, going for the ball.
That's incidental contact right there. Incidental contact. What a tandem in the backcourt. Burke and Hardaway. You show me a better combination. Louisville's got a pretty good one. Is Siva and suddenly Smith. Siva's been a little up and down.
Hardaway almost lost the handle here. Steps back. Missed the 3. Rebound Sam Thompson.
I think they're going too much perimeter jump shots, Mike. Not trying to get a little more execution and attack and be aggressive.
Mata takes timeout here. Each team has 2 with 2:20 to go in this first overtime. Here's the Michigan backcourt numbers. Dick, 39 of the Wolverines 75. The 6 threes by Hardaway kept Michigan in it in the second half. 2:20 left here in overtime. Michigan by 3 and Buckeye ball when you come back. Mike Tirico, Dick Vitale, Samantha Ponder back with you here at the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. Wolverines lead by 3. Ohio State looking for its first points of overtime. The Ohio State team that has been in the mix year in, year out here in the Big Ten. Last year, part along with Michigan of the regular season Big East title. That was 3 straight with Thad Matta, who's really had a role at Ohio State and continuing this year just a game out in the conference.
Well, you know, one of the reasons they're really so effective is they lead the Big Ten in defensive field goal percentage, 38.3. So if you're playing defense as a unit and as a team, you're always going to get yourself in position for a win.
Hey, by the way, before the timeout ends, I just want to say congratulations. Announcement today, ESPN International, seen in many countries around the world, will be broadcasting the NCAA tournament. And after all your years at ESPN, the very first year of our existence, you get to call some Final Four games. I've got to go to Canada or to Italy or to Latin America or Europe or Africa to see it, but I would do that for you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I cannot believe it, number 1, when they called me today, but number 2, are they going to understand me in China, Italy, and all? People have a tough enough time understanding me here. I'm excited about it, but I've worked with so many great guys. You know, I was telling somebody today on Sports, and they said, oh, you're going to the Hall of Fame in sportscasting? I said, it's been a great month. But you know what? I've never looked at myself as a broadcaster. You're a broadcaster. Dan Schulman, Brad Nessler, Brett Musburger. I mean, Reese Davis. I'm a jock, man. Somebody gave me a mic and said, talk about the game you love. And I've been a very blessed and lucky guy.
So happy for you. It'll be great. 22 on the shot clock. Plenty of time here for Ohio State out of the timeout. Oh, Smith made a bad pass. He thought he had Amir Williams, and Williams was coming the other way.
Big turnover right there. You got to make them pay with that turnover and get a conversion.
Michigan's had 3 chances to take it to a 2-possession lead here in overtime. Stauskas put it on the deck. To the basket. Couldn't finish.
Should have laid it on the glass. Should have laid it on the glass. He tried to make it a tougher shot than what it was.
Final 100 seconds of this first overtime. Ohio State down 3.
I think McGarry really does a terrific job of helping and recovering.
Kraft cuts, try to feed Amir Williams inside. Too tough. Another Buckeye turnover here in OT.
The minutes are going up and up for McGarry. Thad Matta, Final Fours twice with the Buckeyes. He's done an amazing job since arriving here. Well, he's been a winner everywhere he went. He's done a great job producing coaches. Archie Miller, Sean Miller, John Gross in Illinois.
Of course, Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens, right? Brad Stevens.
His Ohio State team, though, Dick, 0 for 2 from the field and 2 turnovers here in overtime.
Michigan's done a good job of their defense in the overtime period. Now they're going to do a good job offensively. Put it in Burke's hands. Something good on him. If they get a good screen, there's McGarry with the screen.
Nice pass. McGarry couldn't finish.
Oh, what a terrific 2-man play. He didn't convert. That would have been a backbreaker. He made a great wraparound pass.
Kraft working inside. Great job to ward off Burke with the body. It's a 1-point game.
I mean, that's a 4-point turnaround. Right there, 4-point turnaround. You got to convert on the other end. We might be here all night long.
These guys are exhausted too. Kraft and Burke, they've worn each other out.
I mean, they play so hard. People have to sit where we're sitting. He's trying to run that clock down.
John Beilein worked it down. Burke knew he was going to get a timeout called. It's taken with 37.9 to go.
Buckeyes are going to get the ball back. No matter what, they're going to get a shot at the end, Mike.
Dick, we've talked about it throughout, and then the importance of the home games. If you're in that top 6, really the top 4, but it's so hard to win at Wisconsin and at Minnesota, where Michigan won earlier this year. You've got to protect home court if you go home and home with these teams.
Oh, absolutely. And there's the team laying right there, Michigan State, 7-2. I'm telling you, very dangerous. And Michigan has a date going up there as well. Thomas, will never count him out of the mix. The guy knows how to win, how to get the most out of people. There's a look here. Timeouts.
You mentioned, Dick, Michigan playing Wisconsin next. They go to Minnesota and to Wisconsin in the imbalance of the schedule. And the Badgers and the Gophers do not come here to Ann Arbor.
Right.
So when you talk about those elite teams you're playing.
I did the game Michigan at Minnesota. Minnesota very talented, but went into a real slide, losing 4 in a row. But a very dangerous team.
All right, 18 on the shot clock. Hardaway gets it to Burke. With the Wolverines up 1 and everybody on their feet at the Chrysler Center.
Trying to isolate Burke.
On Kraft, comes to his
left.
Kraft took it away.
Oh, what a strip by Kraft.
Burke chased him down and stripped it back. Last touch, Michigan, 20.1 to go.
What a job by Burke in recovery. Kraft did a phenomenal job stripping Burke. Burke came back, and he denied Kraft the open lane to the basket. Terrific hustle, great defense. Look at Kraft. Look at him moving his feet. How he stays right in front of Burke. Gets the turnover. Now look at Burke hustling and get back in front of him. That is pure hustle. Desire, dedication, determination, discipline. The 4 Ds of life, baby.
Ohio State takes a timeout, and we've seen this a lot covering the Buckeyes here the last couple of years. Chris Jent spent a bunch of time in the NBA, as we'll watch this steal taken by Burke, trying to determine who it went off of. I'm pretty sure that was Burke with the last touch there who went out of bounds. And go back to that Ohio State huddle for a second. You see Chris Jent in there doing a lot of the designing of the play. Chris, coming from an NBA background, he did a lot of work with LeBron James when he was an NBA assistant in Cleveland. And he's developed so many of those NBA concepts and great sets, which they do so well in the league. Has really helped the Buckeyes half-court offense. And Thad Matta, I give him credit, so comfortable to let Chris talk about the design plays out of timeouts.
No doubt about it. He's got a world of experience. Having been around NBA franchise, but right now it's going to come down to defense. And you better block out. You better block out on that glass.
Each team a timeout. Possession arrow belongs to Ohio State.
Watch the missed shot. If there's a missed shot.
Down to 12 seconds left. Kraft turns the corner in the lane. Pulls up. Burke from behind with the block. Taken away by Robinson and fouled in the backcourt.
There's a foul back here, so there's no layup. There's a foul back here. What a terrific block shot because Kraft was about 7 feet away from the rim in terms of a little jump shot.
Dick, the foul is the 10th on Ohio State. It'll be 2 shots for Michigan. Here's Burke.
Look at this block shot from the back.
Oh, he got his hand.
Great play. Great play blocking that shot from the back.
Well, Robinson coming to the line, 42 or 62. That conversation here with the 3 officials. Let's see what they need to come over and check.
Even if he converts these 2, Ohio State still has a shot for a 3 to tie the game, Mike. Even if he converts these 2. I wouldn't let him shoot the 3. I'm under the belief that you got a foul. There's too much that has to happen for you to lose under 5 seconds.
First off, Ohio State does have a timeout. Michigan has 2 free throws coming with Robinson, the freshman, at the line. More time to think as they take a look at this last foul here committed on Robinson. As Kraft went for him and got him across the face. It's the whole flagrant 1 conversation.
Well, they're not determining if there's a foul. They're trying to determine if there was contact above the shoulders and if it was flagrant or not. Because you cannot make a judgment call utilizing the monitor.
Right, absolutely, no doubt. And we see this every time there's contact to the head area of a player. They've cleaned up the last couple of years.
Absolutely, you go to the monitor to check whether or not it was flagrant. Wow.
By the definition of the foul, that's flagrant. I know he's trying to get to the ball on the other side, but he comes across with the arm and gets him purely in the head there. It's a tough call because at the end of the game here, this is a call that can help decide the game. It's the last thing these guys want to do. It's that gray area of going to the monitor. You're officiating what happened and not the situation and its intent. And when you're forced to go to the monitor, the gray area for the officials is replaced. And the last thing these guys want to do is decide the game on something like that.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you. They're huddling. There's a little bit of debate going on because it certainly was a really aggressive attack on that ball.
Pat Driscoll, Terry Weimer, John Gaffney, all veteran officials who work Big Ten games. Driscoll and Weimer, a lot of them, they know what's at stake here.
Well, you're looking at, if it's a flagrant, you're looking at 2 shots on the ball.
Right, and that's what I mean by deciding the game.
Right. Let's see what he makes the call. He's going to that monitor.
And the monitor has taken the gray area situation out of it. So now they come to tell the officials on each side what the situation was. Confirming with the officials, they were trying to determine, was he trying to make a play on the ball and going after it as loose surmise, and now giving the information to each bench here. Still waiting for official word from the table. It looks like just a personal foul. They determined he was going after the ball, even though there is the hit above the head.
Right.
And I honestly think, Dick, they try to use the common sense part of that and not let the game be decided on that.
Absolutely. Now remember this, he converts 2. You got a 3-point differential. And I would not allow Ohio State to shoot the 3. I think you're right, Mike. There's common sense there because really, technically, they could have ruled that it was above the head, above the neck.
Remember, Ohio State has a timeout left. Michigan brought in Karis LeVert. Their freshman helped them switch on any screens and cover the 3 better.
See, my feeling is...
Oh, he missed it, so it's a 2-point game. Thomas gets it to Kraft, final 4. Burke hounding him, Kraft going all the way. Aaron Kraft gets it blocked, doesn't get a shot up. Game over. Michigan wins.
A must win, and they find a way to get the W. What a heartbreaking loss for Ohio State, but a great W for Michigan after losing to Indiana.
was a ton of contact.
No whistle.
And no whistle at the end there.
Heartbreak.
And after not calling the flagrant to make sure that the players decided it on one end, here they decided on this end as Burke comes through with the contact. Wow. With the drive, rather, by Kraft. And it's Hardaway who comes over and gets on the ball.
There's the drive. There's the contact. I mean, you got to call that, Mike. I think you got to call it. I think you got to blow the whistle there. I really do. I think you got to blow the whistle there.
Final score, Michigan 76, Ohio State 74. Right back on the other side with Sports Center. Samantha Ponder, Dick Vitale, Mike Tirico. We'll continue from Ann Arbor in a moment.